morning, dear students. All of you have finished your second unit test, and I am sure all of you have answered all the questions nicely, and there were no doubts in any of the questions. With that, we finished the second unit test. Now we have the final term. The syllabus will be given to you later in the group. And since all of you know, we are in the first chapter of the final term, chapter 12, air and water. We have finished till the properties of water. In the previous classes, I have explained you the different properties of air and different properties of water. There are properties of water as water is an odorless, tasteless and colorless liquid. Despite all these factors, no other liquid can make you content than water. If you are feeling thirsty, your thirst will be satisfied only if you have water. I also told you water is a universal solvent because water can dissolve so many things in it. No other liquid can dissolve so many things in it more than water. You read about the insoluble substances and soluble substances. Soluble substances are those substances that dissolve completely in water. We read the activity in which we tested the sugar whether it is an insoluble or soluble substance. Sugar dissolves completely in water, so it is a soluble substance. And when we did an activity with the mustard seeds and we tried to dissolve these seeds into water, these seeds were not able to dissolve in water. That proved that mustard seeds are insoluble substances. Now, since you know about both these substances, the soluble substances and insoluble substances, we will start today with purification of water. All of you know the water that is all around us is not fit for drinking. We need to purify them before we use them. And have you ever observed what impurities do the water contain? The water may contain so many impurities in it. It may contain the wastes that come from your house, or the waste that come from industries, or the soil is also there in water which makes the water dirty, not fit for drinking. And also when animals and plants die, they go into the water, they sink into the water. Then what happens? They also are present in the water. So all these impurities make the water unfit for drinking. So we need to purify the water before we start using them. There are different methods in which we remove insoluble impurities from water and soluble impurities from water. So the waste that comes from our house or industries or other impurities that are present in water, they may be soluble or they may be insoluble impurities. Today we will discuss about how we can remove the insoluble impurities from water. All of you can see here, there may be soluble impurities in water and insoluble impurities in water. There are three methods by which we can remove insoluble impurities from water. The method of sedimentation, the method of decantation and the method of filtration. These three methods help to remove insoluble impurities from water. So all of you please turn to page number 111. At first, insoluble impurities are removed from water by sedimentation, decantation and filtration. In the previous videos that I sent you related to the activities 6 and 7, I am sure the process of sedimentation, decantation and filtration clear to you by these two activities, but I'll just revise it once again. Insoluble impurities are allowed to settle down at the bottom of a container of water, and this process is called sedimentation. You take a glass of water filled with sand, and then you keep that water still undisturbed for some time. After some time, what happens? All the insoluble impurities, all the soil particles or all the sand particles, they will settle down at the bottom of the container. So this process, when we leave the water undisturbed for some time and the insoluble impurities, they settle at the bottom of the container, is called the process of sedimentation. So in the process of sedimentation, what do? We take a glass of water and we mix sand particles into it, and after leaving this container undisturbed filled with water and sand, what will you observe after some time? All the particles of the sand will settle at the bottom of this glass. So what is this process called? This process is called sedimentation. And then after the process of sedimentation, what do you see? The clear water is at the bottom. And when we try to pour this clear water into another container very carefully, when we pour this clear water which is at the top of the glass carefully into another container, this process is called decantation. So at first sedimentation is done, and then the process of decantation follows. The impurities that settle down at the bottom are called sediments. When you take that muddy water and keep it undisturbed for some time, the impurities settle down at the bottom. So what are these insoluble impurities called? These insoluble impurities are called sediments, and so this process is called sedimentation. The top layer of the clean water, as I explained you, the top layer, this is the clean water, and when this top layer of clean water is gently poured into another container without disturbing the sediments at the bottom, is called the process of decantation. The top layer of clean water is gently poured into another container without disturbing the sediment. This process is called decantation. We have already read activity 6, which explains you the process of sedimentation and decantation. Here you can see the water is kept still for a few minutes. After some time, the sand particles, they settle at the bottom. So this process explains the process of sedimentation. And in another picture you can see that very gently the top layer of clean water is poured into another container without disturbing the sediments at the bottom, and so this process is called decantation. So I am sure the process of sedimentation and decantation are clear to you. Now we will discuss about the process of filtration. For this also we have an activity. I have already explained you this activity in my previous video. The process of removing insoluble impurities from water with the help of a filter is called filtration. So this process makes use of a filter paper or anything that will help you filter the paper. As you can see here in activity 6, a piece of paper, a piece of cotton cloth has been tied to the container, and the muddy water has been passed to another container with the help of the cotton cloth. This cotton cloth is acting like a filter, and when we pass the entire water from the muddy water from one container to another container, what will happen? The mud particles, the sand particles will be absorbed by the cotton cloth, and the clear water will come down and will be kept in another container. So this process is called filtration. When we use a filter to purify the water, the process is called filtration. I hope now it is clear how we can remove the insoluble impurities from water with the process of sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Sedimentation, when the sediments they settle at the bottom and the clear water is at the top, and this process of decantation, when this top clear water is poured into another container without disturbing the sediments, is called decantation, and the process by which we purify the water with the help of a filter is called filtration. Now in the next video I will explain you about how we can remove the soluble impurities by different methods. All of you, please do the worksheet that has been sent to you neatly in your science notebook and go through the previous videos once again related to activity 6 and 7. Thank you and have a nice day.